Elon Musk once worked 120 hours a week and slept on the Tesla factory floor. Jeff Bezos still holds customer service calls. Warren Buffett reads 500 pages every single day. What do billionaires know about hard work that you don't? Here's the truth. Most people think billionaires just got lucky. They believe these titans of industries stumbled into wealth, rode a wave, or inherited their fortune. But the data tells a different story. According to a 2023 study by WealthX, 68% of billionaires in the United States are entirely self-made. They didn't inherit billions, they built them. And the common denominator? An almost obsessive relationship with hard work. In the next 20 minutes, you're going to discover the real lessons billionaires have about hard work, lessons that have nothing to do with motivational quotes or hustle culture. These are strategic, psychological, and financial principles that separate the ultra-wealthy from everyone else. You'll learn why working hard isn't enough, how billionaires leverage effort differently than you do, and most importantly, how you can apply these principles to multiply your own output and income. Let's dive in. Most people believe that if they just work harder, longer, and faster, success will eventually come. They put in 60-hour weeks, grind through weekends, and burn themselves out, only to realize they're not getting ahead. Here's what billionaires understand. Hard work without direction is just noise. In the early days of Amazon, Jeff Bezos didn't just work hard, he worked on the right things. While other CEOs were focused on short-term profits, Bezos obsessed over customer experience and long-term infrastructure. He famously said, "We are willing to be misunderstood for long periods of time." That's directional thinking. He knew that working hard on building logistics, technology, and customer trust would compound over decades. By 2024, Amazon's market cap exceeded $1.7 trillion. That's not luck, that's directional hard work. A Stanford University study found that productivity doesn't scale linearly with hours worked. After 55 hours per week, output per hour drops sharply. Billionaires know this. That's why they don't just work more, they work smarter, with laser focus on high-leverage activities. Ask yourself, am I working hard on things that will matter in 5 years, or am I just staying busy? Billionaires ruthlessly eliminate low-impact tasks. They automate, delegate, and focus only on activities that move the needle. Hard work isn't about hours logged, it's about impact per hour. Warren Buffett once said, "You can always make more money, you can't make more time." Billionaires don't just manage their calendars, they invest their time like they invest capital. Every hour is evaluated for ROI. Every meeting is scrutinized after every commitment is measured against opportunity cost. Warren Buffett is worth over $120 billion, yet his calendar is famously empty. He doesn't fill his days with meetings, networking events, or busy work. Instead, he spends 80% of his time reading and thinking. Why? Because for Buffett, thinking time is work. It's where billion-dollar decisions are made. Compare that to the average American worker who spends 23 hours per week in meetings, according to a 2023 report by Otter.ai. Most of those meetings, completely unproductive. Elon Musk takes a different approach. He divides his day into 5-minute blocks. Every single block is accounted for. If something doesn't deserve a block, it doesn't get done. This level of time precision allows Musk to run multiple billion-dollar companies simultaneously: Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and more. He's not superhuman, he's just ruthlessly intentional with his 1,440 minutes per day. Let's put this in dollars. If your goal is to make $1 million per year, that's roughly $500 per hour, assuming a 2,000-hour work year. If you spend 2 hours in a pointless meeting, you just burned $1,000 in opportunity cost. Billionaires think this way constantly. They calculate the dollar value of their time and refuse to waste it. Start auditing your time like a balance sheet. Track where every hour goes for 1 week. You'll be shocked at how much time you're wasting on things that don't generate value. Protect your high-value hours like a billionaire protects their equity. Here's a hard truth. You cannot work your way to $1 billion alone. It's mathematically impossible. Even if you worked 100 hours a week at $500 per hour, which is elite-level consulting pay, you'd make $2.6 million per year. To reach $1 billion, you'd need to work for 385 years. Obviously, that's not happening. Billionaires understand leverage. They don't trade time for money. They build systems, hire people smarter than they are, and use technology to scale their efforts. Sam Walton, founder of Walmart, didn't build a $500 billion empire working alone in a store. He worked hard, yes, but he worked hard on building a system. He obsessed over supply chain efficiency, employee training programs, and store layouts. Then he replicated that system 10,000 times across the country. Walton's hard work wasn't in the stores, it was in designing a machine that could run without him. By the time he died in 1992, Walmart was generating billions in revenue annually, and the Walton family remains one of the wealthiest in America, worth over $240 billion today. Mark Zuckerberg worked insane hours building Facebook in his Harrod dorm room, but the reason he's worth over $100 billion isn't because he codes 24/7 now, it's because he built a platform that scales infinitely. Facebook has nearly 3 billion users. Zuckerberg's code, his platform, his vision, it works for him while he sleeps. That's leverage. In 2024, billionaires are doubling down on AI and automation. According to McKinsey, companies that integrate AI into operations see productivity gains of 20 to 40%. Billionaires aren't afraid of AI replacing jobs, they're using it to amplify their output. If you're still doing everything manually, you're competing with people who have machines working for them. Stop thinking like an employee, start thinking like an owner. Your hard work should go into building systems, hiring people smarter than you, and using technology to scale. One person with leverage can outwork 10,000 people without it. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's business partner and a billionaire himself, said, "Go to bed smarter than when you woke up." Billionaires are obsessive learners. They don't just work hard on execution, they work hard on getting better at execution. Bill Gates takes 2 think weeks per year, where he disappears to a secluded cabin with nothing but books and papers. No phone, no distractions, just pure learning. During one of these weeks in 1995, Gates read a paper about the internet and realized Microsoft was behind. He returned and wrote his famous Internet Tidal Wave memo, which redirected the entire company. That 1 week of learning was worth billions. Warren Buffett reads 500 pages a day. Elon Musk read the entire Encyclopedia Britannica as a kid. Mark Cuban reads more than 3 hours daily. According to Thomas Corley, who studied the habits of self-made millionaires, 88% of wealthy people read for self-improvement for at least 30 minutes per day, compared to just 2% of poor people. That gap compounds. Over 10 years, that's thousands of hours of knowledge acquisition. Over 30 years, it's a completely different operating system. Billionaires don't just learn facts, they learn how to learn. They study mental models, frameworks, and systems thinking. Naval Ravikant, a famous tech investor and entrepreneur, says, "Learn to sell, learn to build. If you can do both, you will be unstoppable." That's meta-learning, understanding the core skills that unlock everything else. Here's a stat that will blow your mind. According to a Georgetown University study, a bachelor's degree increases lifetime earnings by $1 million on average. But self-directed learning, books, courses, mentors, can often deliver better ROI, faster, with no debt. Billionaires know this. They invest heavily in education, but it's rarely traditional. It's hyper-focused, self-directed, and immediately applicable. Stop outsourcing your brain to social media algorithms. Read books, take courses, find mentors, study industries outside your own. Your earning potential is directly tied to how fast you can learn and adapt. You've probably heard of the Stanford marshmallow experiment. Kids who could delay gratification, resisting one marshmallow to get two later, were far more successful in life. Billionaires are the ultimate marshmallow resistors. Amazon didn't turn a profit for years. Investors were furious. The media mocked Bezos, but he kept reinvesting every dollar into growth. He once said, "We are willing to plant seeds that won't bear fruit for 5 to 7 years." That's delayed gratification at a billion-dollar scale. Today, Amazon Web Services alone generates over $90 billion in annual revenue. In 2008, Tesla was weeks from bankruptcy. Elon Musk had a choice: save Tesla or save SpaceX. He couldn't save both. He split his last $40 million between the two companies, putting himself on the brink of personal bankruptcy. He slept on friends' couches. He worked 100-hour weeks. He delayed every personal comfort for years. Today, Tesla is worth over $800 billion, and SpaceX is valued at $180 billion. That's what delayed gratification looks like. A University of Pennsylvania study led by psychologist Angela Duckworth found that grit, the ability to persist through difficulty, is a stronger predictor of success than IQ or talent. Billionaires have grit in abundance. They work hard through the pain, not just when it's convenient. Here's a fact. According to a Fidelity investment study, 80% of US millionaires are first-generation wealthy. They didn't inherit it. They earned it through decades of hard work, sacrifice, and delayed gratification. The average millionaire in America drives a used car, lives in a modest home, and saves over 20% of their income. They're not flashy, they're patient. If you want billionaire-level success, you have to embrace discomfort. You have to say no to short-term pleasures. You have to work when others rest. Pain is temporary. Regret lasts forever. Here's something most people miss. Billionaires work hard, but they also prioritize recovery. Why? Because burnout destroys productivity. A burned-out founder makes terrible decisions. A sleep-deprived CEO loses billions. Bezos famously said, "I prioritize 8 hours of sleep. I make a small number of decisions, but they're high-quality decisions. If I sleep poorly, I might make 3 bad decisions, and each one could cost Amazon billions." Think about that. One bad decision at scale can wipe out years of hard work. Sleep, exercise, and recovery aren't luxuries, they're strategic assets. Billionaires are investing heavily in health and longevity. Brian Johnson, a tech entrepreneur, spends $2 million per year on anti-aging protocols. Jeff Bezos has invested in Altos Labs, a company focused on reversing aging. Why? Because time is the ultimate asset. If you can extend your productive years by a decade, that's a decade of compounding wealth and impact. A Harvard Business Review study found that well-rested employees are 20% more productive than sleep-deprived ones. At a billion-dollar scale, that's hundreds of millions in value. Billionaires know this. That's why many meditate, exercise daily, and guard their sleep schedules ruthlessly. Hard work isn't about burning yourself out. It's about sustainable intensity. Protect your health, your sleep, and your mental clarity. You can't build an empire if you're too exhausted to think. So, what do billionaires know about hard work that you don't? It's not about working more hours. It's about working on the right things with leverage over a long period of time. It's treating your time like a financial asset, investing in learning, delaying gratification, and recovering strategically. It's understanding that hard work alone won't make you a billionaire, but hard work applied intelligently can change your life. Here's the action plan. 1. Audit your time this week. Cut anything that doesn't align with your 5-year vision. 2. Build leverage. Hire, automate, or partner. Stop trading time for money. 3. Read more. Learn faster. Upgrade your mental operating system. 4. Embrace discomfort. The pain of discipline is far lighter than the pain of regret. 5. Protect your health. You can't win if you're burned out. You don't have to become a billionaire to benefit from these lessons, but if you apply even 2 or 3 of them, you'll be ahead of 95% of people. The question is, are you willing to do the work? If this video gave you a new perspective on hard work, do me a favor, hit that like button. And if you want more insights on wealth building, productivity, and the psychology of success, subscribe and turn on notifications. We're just getting started. Drop a comment below. Which billionaire's work ethic resonates with you the most? I read every single one. Thanks for watching. Now go apply what you've learned. Your future self will thank you.